CBS News, new editor, Barry Weiss, looks to poach, ready? Scott Jennings.
I heard that.
For swanky new role. So first, she goes after Bret Baier. Now, going after Scott Jennings. Let me read this to you. Rob, can you go exactly to the point where I say if I were to negotiate on your behalf, go exactly to that point, not when he's asking me the question. All right, so CBS, going to page 21. So these guys are playing offense. So Barry's like, let me go pick up Bret Baier and let me go pick up Scott Jennings. She's got a plan, okay? All right, so Scott Jennings maybe have a new role at CBS ahead of him, thanks to the network's new editor-in-chief, who was hired less than a month ago to go rebrand the outlet. Barry Weiss invited Scott Jennings to the company's headquarters in New York City this week for a meeting. According to Semaphore, Jennings, 48, has made a name for himself among right-wing media and consumers for his cutthroat debating on CNN as a part-time contributor. The 41-year-old chief also met with Fox News anchor Bret Baier to discuss the potential of hosting the channel's flagship show. Weiss, who was aired on October 6th, met with Baier a week before a discussion with Jennings. However, it appears that unlikely a deal could be made with Baier, given that he is under contract with Fox News evening broadcast until 2028. The possible moves come amid uncertainty as Paramount, the parent company of CBS, is expected to make cuts in the next couple of days. Before any layoffs, co-anchor John Dickerson announced on Monday that he is leaving CBS. Dickerson, who has not explained the abrupt exit, announced on Instagram local news, at the end of this year, I will leave CBS 16 years after I sat in the face of Nation anchor for the first time. I'm extremely grateful for all the CBS gave me, the work, the audience, attention, and the honor of being a part of the network's history. And I'm grateful for my dear colleagues who made a better journalist and a better human being of me. I miss you. Tom, thoughts?
Well, first of all, what Dickerson is really saying, let me translate for him, is this. Guys, I don't want to be in the layoff press release. Can I be in my own press release like a week sooner? Yeah, John, you've been here a while. We'll do that. That's what's going on here. There are people that know that the change is coming, people that they've already spoken to them. They talk to their agents. They talk about how the severance is going to work. Or they just go to page 26 of the contract, Pat, and say, well, clause 6, we can give you notice and then pay you this much. We're exercising clause 6. Your agent received an email today. And then they go, can I look good some way getting out of this? That's what's going on, point one. Point two, you know what Barry Weiss reminds me of, Pat?
Tell me.
When Jimmy Johnson went to the Dallas Cowboys, and he just said, look, this has been a losing team for a while. We can't do things one at a time or two at a time. We got to go and just change it up. And the first year he had there was terrible. He won like 2 games. Remember that? Like 2-12. And Bill Parcells crossed was walking to the tunnel, went like this, like, dude, keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. You're building it. And I feel like she's coming in there like that and saying, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And there is nobody offering. The interesting thing is news media organizations are highly political. You always have your buddy at the top. It says, I'm really close with this guy. I'm close with this guy. I'm not going to be here. There is all the words that, who was there? That Tom Brokaw was really tight with Warren Littlefield. So you could never move Brokaw unless you wanted to go to Warren Littlefield way, way up at the top, who reported to, at the time, I think, to Bob Wright, like GE. So it was tough. It appears that nobody is offering these protections. And she's able to come in and say, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going here.
Does it sound like she has a plan?
I think it does sound like she has a plan. She's looking for everyone she's talking to is not like far, 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 far right. They have a degree of moderate, middle moderation. That's how I read.
So I'm at the America Business Forum. Bret Baier is interviewing me. We're having a great conversation. And then he asked me a question about capitalism. And then this is what I shared with him. And we negotiated his contract publicly, which was great. Go ahead, Rob.
Awesome. On the spot. He had no clue.
Make an offer to Bret Baier. You work at Fox News. You make millions of dollars. You're a very wealthy man. The market right now is in a very bad place. Disney needs talent desperately. Disney's begging YouTube to allow ESPN to be back on there because the games they're playing. Disney created a website for people to go to lobby to allow YouTube to put their app back on. And they're saying, we don't want to do this. To the point where Pat McAfee is saying, don't get me involved. I know you're paying me. I don't want to do this. CBS right now brings Barry Weiss. Right? And Barry wants to go get somebody like you. I don't blame them. Guess what's going to happen? Fox is sitting there. If I'm your agent, say I'm your agent. This is a great opportunity for me if I'm your agent. Guess what I'm doing? I'm going to say, Bret, this is fantastic. Let me make a phone call to Lachlan. I'm going to call Lachlan. I'm going to say, hey, Lachlan, Bret Baier is about to go to CBS. He's going to get a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, $75 million contract. What do we want to do to lock into greatest moderator of our era? Do we want to lose him? No. Lock him in right now. He's not going to CBS. That's capitalism. What are you going to do? You think you're going to lose?
Are you available?
You can pause it right there.
What a moment.
That's a great compliment.
What was even better is backstage when we came up to him. He's like, "No, seriously, like what can we do?"
And Pat, this is
about
I
this?"
respect you. You have to listen. Say what you want about agendas and propaganda, whatever. That you have to respect the game and respect the hustle. When it comes to Scott Jennings, I can't watch the Abby Phillips, Dear Abby. I can't watch that. The only moment you watch Anna Navarro on there, she's just completely out of her mind. They have no idea. They're such in a bubble. The only reason we're watching it is because Scott Jennings calls all of them out on their BS, okay? And I have to show this clip, Pat. Abby Phillips is with Joy Reid, and she's sitting there describing what she does and how conservatives are in a completely different world. She's sitting with Joy Reid about conspiracies, and guess what? Joy Reid is the one that was floating the idea that Trump wasn't really shot. It was a staged photo op. Play this clip from Dear Abby.
Conservatives are living in a completely different information world
Absolutely.
than liberals. And breaking that down needs to be done.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you don't ever even hear the facts, it's hard to even know that you're wrong. And that happens a lot. I mean, half my job sometimes is knowing what the latest conspiracy is, so that if it comes up, I'm ready to address it.
Because your party's doing it.
It happens a lot where people don't even
Vinny,
know
who's the guy that
what
Abby's
they're
sitting down with?
saying or what they've seen and believe is not true. And so that happens a lot, and I don't come away from that saying, what's the point of this? People are just saying false things. I think that one time that person brings up something that is debunked and false, and I debunk it at the table, might be the very first time that someone out there has heard an alternative point of view.
By the way, like Scott Jennings, I have a feeling he's going to leave, and then who are they going to bring in to even make the Abby Phillips show even mildly watchable? It's a horrible show. It's all of them just patting each other on the backs, and she wants to talk about all this nonsense about conspiracy. That's what your party does all the time. They constantly conspire with Russia collusion and this and the. I can't even go into all this stuff. It's so rich to sit here and listen to her talk about she has to explain it. She doesn't understand. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Half my job is this, half my job is that. Abby, with all due respect, you're only doing half a job, and Scott Jennings is doing the other half on your show, because you take him out, and what do you have?
You know what? I'd love a case study. That's it. What hurts more? If you take Abby out, does the CNN show change with Scott Jennings on? If you take Scott Jennings out and Abby stays, does the show do better without Scott Jennings? Do you understand what question I just asked?
It doesn't matter who the host is. Scott would, because it's obviously going to be a leftist.
Scorer.
He's going to go in there and just dunk on every single one of them with facts.
And by the way, you know who else Barry Weiss is going after? Matt Gutman.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah. Matt Gutman. You know who Matt Gutman is? If you remember Matt Gutman, 2 months ago, we talked about him when he said something.
You guys yelled at me because I said he's an actual journalist. I said he's an actual journalist.
But do you remember what happened with him?
He said that he was sort of, and I do not condone this, but he was kind of like telling the love story of who's the guy that killed Charlie Kirk allegedly?
The
shooter,
the trans lover story. Oh, yeah, he called it a love story.
I have the clip if you want to.
Oh yeah, can we please? I have.
So she's like creating the WWE.
She is.
Yeah.
An alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching.
What was his name? Robinson? What's his name?
Very intimate.
What's the kid's name? Robinson?
Listen.
Tyler Robinson.
This guy was almost shot a guy's head off, shot him in the neck, bled out. But listen, there's love.
No,
he loved. By the way, his furry boyfriend, who's been missing, just FYI, for 6 weeks. But we'll get into that.
No, I can't condone that weird love story. However,
Adam,
the guy is a real journalist.
Adam, he's a real journalist.
I got lambasted.
Adam, he's a real journalist.
I do have a question. Maybe Tom can help. Barry Weiss, I don't know much about her.
Me neither.
Everything I hear about her is that she's very credible. She's a former liberal, New York Times, and maybe even Wall Street Journal.
I think she still is.
I don't know what she is, but she's been very against woke culture. So what? She started the Substack. She started the Free Press. The Free Press got picked up by the Ellison, the Paramount, and everything, and now she's running. Just give me the context of Barry Weiss. I hear great things about her.
You summarized it.
There it is, guys.
She left the enterprise of the New York Times, eventually starts and builds Free Press, and is not like on a 1 to 10 liberals. And instead of sitting at a 9, she's like at a 6.5, 7. And the Ellisons are looking for somebody more moderated in the middle. And they were also looking for, podcast content, just the same way that Fox, through the Red Investment Group, has been looking for podcast content. So finish what you were going to say, Adam.
And they paid her They paid her $150 million, I believe, for the Free Press.
We say allegedly. I don't want to make it sound like a crime, but the rumors and the things that are in the media was that, that the price for her group was around that. And then they also brought over her staff and then made her head of the news. And now she's, removing people, changing people, and having a lot of meetings with the right people. Remember, they're in third place. Of the big three, you're saying? Yeah.
ABC, NBC, CBS.
Yeah, and at certain times when Rachel Maddow was on a roll, they were in fourth place. So CBS has been like in the dark basement. This is like, once upon a time they were really good. This is like the Yankees in '74 before Steinbrenner bought them. And then Steinbrenner said, this is a proud organization. You know what the nickname for CBS used to be? The Tiffany Network. Because they were supposedly the classiest, the one at the top with Walter Cronkite. And I feel like have the Ellisons kind of made the Steinbrenner move here, and they're going to put in. And remember what Steinbrenner put in the dugout? He made some errors with Gene Mauch and stuff, but he put Billy Martin in the dugout. Why? Because Martin was a guy that wasn't going to take any ego from players. And it went back and forth.
Martin was a gangster like him, though.
But I feel like he fired him and rehired him like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
In one interview.
But who didn't like Martin? Reggie Jackson, because Reggie's ego was taking over, and Reggie was a performer. Reggie was Mr. October. It was all good, but Martin was like, "This is the way we're going to do it." So I see similarities for the Tiffany, the once proud Tiffany Network, 60 Minutes, Walter Cronkite through the 60s and 70s. My goodness. Now, sitting there in this lowly position, Ellisons buy it and say, we can do something different with this. And now Barry Weiss has been put in place.
Tom, I got to give you credit. You're giving sports references today. Jimmy Johnson, how about them Cowboys, Yankees? I know you're a huge Yankees fan.
I'm talking about turnaround stories.
No, I'm just saying, good metaphors.
Yeah. So how unique do you think Scott Jennings is? Because I actually think that they discovered a model accidentally by throwing this guy in that I don't think he's extremely talented and love what he does there, but I don't think it's that hard to find somebody who's like that could do the exact same thing.
Oh, bro,
on CBS.
I know you always have
this take.
You couldn't be more wrong.
I know
because Scott Jennings is a talented person.
Are
you kidding me?
Right, I literally led that sentence by saying he's very talented.
So you can't say he's very, very talented, and then you could just replace him with anybody.
No, I said you
Which
could.
one is it?
I said you could duplicate that model very easily by just putting a
Hey,
conservative.
CNN, CBS, call Brandon, the guy, put him on the show. Because if they did have other people like that,
anybody could replace him. I said you could find somebody like that that's well spoken.
But you're well.
All right, how many other liberal media networks have put a conservative in a group of liberals?
By the way, just so you know, Brandon is not wrong. Hear me out for a second. Think about how many conservative, talented Scott Jennings are out there at conservative networks that liberal networks can go recruit. If you think about The View has one conservative who hates Trump, who is not a conservative.
The girl at the end.
She's a,
fair or whatever.
I don't know what you want to call.
She's like a Mike Pence type conservative.
Yeah, she's a Pence.
She's like a Pence.
Like a rhino.
Conservative. Yeah, she is. So
she's not MAGA.
But a Scott Jennings type, there are quite a few of them. I wouldn't say a lot of them. I would say there's 50 of them out there to get. So it's not hard to go find them. I have a list of guys I would go pick up. And what you're looking for is there's different kind of conservatives. Yesterday when I had Sam Shamon on, a Syrian guy, we had a conversation with him here yesterday. Very, very good conversation. He said something. He says, I'm good if you put me to debate Muslims. because he's read the Quran and the Bible, and he was quoting scripture and the Quran for 2.5 hours yesterday.
No joke.
Blown away by this guy.
Is he skinny? Did he look good?
He said he was fine, but he
Good
says
for him.
he said if you put me against an atheist to debate, I don't know how to debate an atheist because I've not studied atheism. My specialty to debate is what? Muslims. So now,
Sunni especially.
go into some other guys that you want to bring them that are multi. Some guys, their trick pony is what? Israel. I can debate Israel. Some it's J6. Right. Some it's what do you call it?
Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve, and the Fed. Some there's a lot of one-trick pony guys, and then you have great processors, then you have great entertainers, and he even talked about a guy whose name was, what was the guy's name, Rob, yesterday? William something that Sam talked about. His books are amazing. He says, but William is a great writer, but a horrible debater. He said his books are amazing, but the moment he did a debate with this other man named William, is that him, Rob? William Lane Craig?
I believe so.
Yeah, William Lane Craig. He says the moment he did a debate, I don't know if it's him.
No,
I don't think it's him. The moment he did a debate with another person, he failed
Older
the debate.
gentleman, yeah.
Because he was not a debater. So I think there is about 50 Scott Jennings out there, and I would put Scott at the top right now. He's fantastic. But I understand the argument you're making. They're out there, but these organizations simply don't know where to look, where to find them, but they're definitely out there to go find.
It's a good model.
It's a good model. Let me tell you what's going on today. We haven't done this in a while, so this is probably going to go in 30 minutes. We have a new hat that we've been working on for months, and it's officially here in 2 colors. Each are limited, numbered. Out of 150, they will go like this. Having said that, here's our latest Future Looks Bright hat. Go ahead, Rob. Then look at that. By the way, it's sick, black and white. Zilur.
That's
Cash. Damn.
Who was that guy?
Who was that male model?
Who was it actually?
Justin.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Is that really Justin?
Well,
at this guy.
Justin kind of is a male model. Let's
Look at
give
this
him
stud.
a little credit. Come on.
Sick.
They were gonna go with
I
Rob
love it.
first.
I love it. I love it.
sick
So
too.
here's what we're doing. They're both limited, black and the white. If you order both, we're going to send you one of the shirts. The Future Looks Bright. Rob, if you can click on the link, go to it, click on the hat. I think they're numbered. It says 150. Zoom in on the hat on the side. Keep going.
Boom.
150. Numbered out of 150, each one of them. So black and white. If you order both, you can pick a shirt, white or black. We'll send it to you as well. But if you want to order more than that, do so. Always remember what happens with these limited edition stuff. Rob, go to eBay if you can and just type in Future Looks Bright on eBay. Anything we do limited edition, they go within 45 minutes to an hour. In no time. Go to Future Looks Bright and then press search and then go to the right if you can search by price, highest. Okay, one more. Look at this. Look at these hats. $9,800 hat.
Stop it.
I'm telling you, number $3,000. That's hats out of 50. So, they're numbered. They're limited edition. They end up over here for people that want to pick them up or sport them. If I'm you, like when I buy something nice, I'm going to wear them. If you believe the future looks bright, go to vtmerch.com. Place your order on these hats. They're limited edition, 1 out of 150, each one of them. Get it for yourself. Get it as a gift. Christmas is around the corner. This could be something you can get for someone who's a big fan of the PBD podcast, Valuetainment, who's also optimistic, that believes the future looks bright. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.